Drummer Move House. It was May 13th, 1985, after a day-long standoff outside a home occupied by members of a radical back-to-nature group known as Move, where police, as you saw, dropped an explosive device from a chopper onto that row home.
Why you gotta hurt? There's kids in there. You tell my children in there all day, all night. Why you gotta hurt the kids? Think about the children. Think about the children.
Industry, is this your home? A blazing smokestack belching up your prized possessions, neighborhood of free fire zone.
On Monday, May 13th, 1985, nearly 500 police officers, along with Philadelphia, Pennsylvania City Manager Leo Brooks, arrived in force and attempted to clear the pro-black group Move out of their building and execute arrest warrants. Nearby houses were evacuated. Water and electricity were shut off in order to force Move members out of the house. Commissioner Sambor read a long speech addressed to Move members that started with, quote, "Attention Move, this is America. You have to abide by the laws of the United States," unquote. When the Move members did not respond, the police decided to forcibly remove the 13 members from the house, which consisted of 7 adults and 6 children. There was an armed standoff with police, who lobbed tear gas canisters at the building. The Move members fired at them, and a 90-minute gunfight ensued, in which one officer was bruised in the back by gunfire. Police used more than 10,000 rounds of ammunition before Commissioner Sambor ordered that the compound be bombed. From a Pennsylvania State Police helicopter, Philadelphia Police Department Lieutenant Frank Powell proceeded to drop 2 one-pound bombs, which police referred to as entry devices, made of FBI-supplied Tovex, a dynamite substitute targeting a cubicle on the roof of the house. The ensuing fire killed 11 of the people in the house: John Africa, 5 other adults, and 5 children aged 7 to 13. The fire spread and eventually destroyed approximately 65 nearby houses on Osage Avenue and nearby Pine Street. Although firefighters had earlier drenched the building prior to the bombing, after the fire broke out, officials said they feared that Move would shoot at the firefighters, so held them back. Ramona Africa, one of the 2 Move survivors from the house, said that police fired at those trying to escape.
Hey, with that, hold up. First of all, I want to start off by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Also want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught me this word, and the brothers who teach sincerely down. And also want to give a salutation to the elect scattered across the 4 corners of the earth, and the elected speckled birds. And this one is about the history of the Move. Slacking, not feeling too good, so slacking for that. But for the Move bombing in Philadelphia in 1985. Let's see what I can find. Man, I don't like this website, man. They keep all these ads, man. Let's see, let's play this.
Move is a really tough group to summarize, and they've actually kind of confounded journalists over the years as we've attempted to explain them to the public. The name is not an acronym. It doesn't stand for anything, which is kind of a metaphor for the group. It was never very clear what its purpose was or what its message was. It was really kind of one of the last vestiges of the kind of 60s counterculture and revolutionary fervor. The founder was a man named Vincent Lapart, and he was classified as educably retarded by the Philadelphia School District. He had an IQ of just 79, according to the district. Dropped out of school at 16, and then, and no one knows when exactly it happened, the name Vincent Lapart disappeared, and he adopted the new name of John Africa. He produced a Move Bible, which the group referred to as the Guidelines, and it was actually written by a University of Pennsylvania grad student, but that man's name was Donald Glassy, and I've interviewed him, and he insists to me that all he did was basically serve as a secretary and write down Africa's Ramble. Right from the start, they were almost nihilist. They disrupted neighborhood meetings, and they were kind of equal opportunity offenders.
They demonstrated against virtually every organization on the right and the left, and both the police and this leftist little newspaper called The Drummer called them reactionary and fascist.
And it became sort of like the McCoys and the Hatfields, where a feud was really going on between the city and the city police and MOVE, and the origins of it were kind of lost.
And the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms federal agents found their arsenal, which had 11 weapons, 11 rifles, and they had about 49 bombs and bomb parts.
In making that case, they flipped, quote-unquote, Donald Glassy, the MOVE co-founder, and he actually became a government informant against MOVE and led them to the bomb parts. And the police arrested the feds arrested about a half dozen people, MOVE members, including John Africa. But before the warrants could be served, he disappeared.
While this is going on, they're still having this ongoing standoff with the police, with the building being under surveillance. There's 24-hour surveillance going on, and they wouldn't give up. They would not turn themselves in or turn over their guns and that sort of thing.
Neighbors were complaining that this house was a source of vermin and a health hazard, and that there were literally dozens of dogs that lived there, feeding on raw meat. And when city housing code inspectors went to go there to check out the conditions, MOVE refused to let them in.
The police had racked up $1.2 million in overtime, prompting the city and taxpayers to really, complain that this has got to end.
The police will be in there to drag them out by the backs of their necks.
There will be a confrontation this time. There will be no barricades.
I don't know. It's up to them whether no barricades, Mike. They're going to be taken by force if they resist. No question about that. Children or not.
After attempts to negotiate a peaceful solution failed, police surrounded the house on August 8th, 1978, and began to bring up a bulldozer to knock down the parapet and seize control of the house.
I was in the third floor apartment across the street at 33rd and Pearl, and I was sitting in the kitchen window watching all this on Deadline and reporting it to the Day City editor. There was this calm, and all of a sudden, you heard gunfire. And I looked down, and Ramp, who had been kneeling down to take his position, his shooting position, along with the other stakeout officers right below me at the corner on the sidewalk at 33rd and Pearl. Basically, he fell backwards. None of the others did, and blood was coming out of his mouth. I screamed in the phone, "Oh my God, they shot a cop." I think they started the deluge tanks again to give them a chance to get Ramp out of the scene. And then when that stopped, the MOVE people started to come out of the basement. And there were children there all morning. There were like hundreds and hundreds of rats, and there were dozens of dogs that were coming out. And then the MOVE people came out, and there was women, there were children. But when Delbert or Africa came out, one grabbed him by the hair, by his dreadlocks, and started dragging him down the street. And these other cops just surrounded him and started kicking him and punching him.
In fact, the DA at the time, Ed Rendell, ended up charging police brutality against several of those police. After the shootout, the nine adult MOVE members in that house were all charged with third-degree murder. And there was a long and tumultuous trial that was kind of a local version of the Chicago 7 trial in the 60s in Chicago. The trial was constantly disrupted, and people were gagged, and people were taken out. And eventually the judge, Edwin Malmuth, found all 9 of them guilty of third-degree murder. After the 1978 shootout, MOVE essentially set up shop at a new headquarters, which was at 6221 Osage Avenue in far West Philadelphia. A lot of people began to move into this row home in West Philly at 6221 Osage. And we later learned that among the people who were in that house was John Africa.
Alright, that's pretty much self-explanatory. I don't think I gotta read too much of the article. If you want more information on this video, the 2010 video was part of a documentary series produced for the 25th anniversary of the 1985 move bombing. And pretty much, you know, Jake trying to move and do something in Esau's land, not knowing he under captivity, thinking you got some type of rights. You ain't got no rights, Jake. And that wasn't a smart move on your behalf. What you thought you was gonna fight Esau's army, Esau's police? You was gonna defeat Esau's system, because only Yahweh Hashem Yahushua can defeat Esau's system. You see, there was you know, you pretty much had this coming. You got your family killed and all this, you know. The scripture say be as peaceful, be as smart as a serpent, peaceful as a dove, and that's what you were lacking to do, you know. That's why when you read the scriptures, it gives you it pretty much gives you directions on how to survive in captivity and under Esau's authority. You know, you shot a cop, you know you was gone, man. But let's get to the scriptures. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. You know, and then the violence, that's the name of this series, because Esau killed the kids. Esau blew them up. You know, and Esau could have found a better solution. And this is Genesis 27:24. So let's get into why Esau hates the so-called black man so much, which is the tribe of Judah, the top tribe of Israel. And this is Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob being the 12 tribes, and Esau being the so-called white man, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him, which the blessings that we were blessed with were the kingdom of heaven. And Esau lost his blessing for a piece of meat, pretty much, because he was hungry, and he never was planning on doing the Lord's work, because Esau think he is God. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And it's because his father Isaac gave up the ghost. So after he got finished mourning, after his father died, he would pursue his brother Jacob, which to this day he's still pursuing his brother Jacob. He got police brutality, Jake getting killed in the middle of the street, a black man, and you still see it to this day. We're still under his captivity, under the curses, which is in Deuteronomy 28. So the bombing, the move bombing, you know, they should have never did that. They should have know better than that. And you see how it ended. We have no defense against Esau in his system and in his world, because the scriptures say the world was given into the hands of the wicked, and the blessings of Esau in Genesis was the fatness of the earth and the sword. And to this day, it says in I think it's 2nd Esdras 15 that Esau is the end and Jacob is the beginning. So we have to wait till the Lord comes down here to free us. We can't try to take it within our own hands. You're just gonna end up dead. You know, we're just gonna end up dead. You have to wait till the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, comes back to save us. This is Psalm 77:16. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealings shall come down upon his own path. And that's what the Lord's gonna do to him, you know. And the Lord knows what he's done to us, and you got us prophets out here crying every day, waking up, putting curses on this place, just like Apostle Tahar told us to do, which I need to do more now that I'm reminding myself that this place is falling. As you see the dollar falling, you see the bricks, and you see all these things happening, you can see that this place is falling really quickly, you know, and we're going to need the Lord to protect us. I was just watching a video from my elder saying pray, pray, pray. Then he also had another video on a dream he had of Esau having weapons that we never seen before, and us going through things the things that we're gonna have to go through. So we have to prepare our minds and understand who this devil is. And I think that's all I'm gonna get into for now. If you want to look more into the move bombing, just look more into it. Or you can follow the series that we got going on for the violence against our brother Jacob. So, where's the page at? Right here. This is our main page here in the Indianapolis camp, GMS, Indianapolis, Indiana. So with that being said, Shalawam.